Well, folks, the American Medical Association is no longer particularly interested in medicine. You know, body mass index is a pretty crude standard that basically just looks at your weight and your height and then tells you if you might be overweight or obese. And it's not dispositive in every situation, right? BMI doesn't take into account body type sometimes. Right? There are athletes who, for example, have a lot of muscle mass and they're not particularly tall, and their BMI will be, quote unquote, off the charts. You'll see that with athletes all the time. And so they have to actually recalibrate your body mass based on your athletic activity. But as sort of a rough and ready guide for whether somebody needs to lose weight, BMI is useful. Well, now the American Medical Association is saying that body mass index is racist. Yep. Because why? Well, it was categorizing too many Black and Hispanic people as overweight, apparently. Now, is it true that there are a bunch of people who are Black and Hispanic who are not overweight, who are being categorized as overweight? I'd like to see the evidence on that one. I really would. Because it seems to me that as sort of, again, a rough and ready estimate, BMI is useful. Again, it's not like dispositive. It's not a body fat calculator. It's not you going through and looking at the levels of fat in your actual system. It's basically a crude measure of maybe you need to lose weight. But doctors know that. Like, they can look at you and say, you look obese and your BMI is like 30, so probably you're obese. But the AMA says this is no longer good because it might be racist. According to the AMA, the new policy was part of the AMA Council on Science and Public Health report, which evaluated the problematic history with BMI and explored alternatives. The report also outlined the harms and benefits of using BMI and pointed to BMI as an imperfect way to measure body fat in multiple groups, given that it does not account for differences across racial or ethnic groups, sexes, genders, and age span. Given the findings reports, the new policy supports AMA in educating physicians on the issues with BMI and alternative measures for diagnosing obesity. So they're saying now we need to use more sophisticated measures of measuring body fat, for example. They say that it should be used in conjunction now with other valid measures of risk, such as, but not limited to, measurements of visceral fat, body adiposity index, body composition, relative fat mass, waist circumference, genetic metabolic factors. The policy noted BMI is significantly correlated with the amount of fat mass in the general population, but it loses predictability when applied on the individual level, right? That would be the thing that I'm talking about here, where if you're an NFL player and you're a running back and you're 5'9", 200, it's going to rate you as obese. Okay, but how many of the people actually being rated by BMI are NFL players? Let's be real about this. It's just not giving results that people want is the problem. And we're supposed to pretend that you're not fat when you are fat. A huge percentage of the country is now fat. It is perfectly obvious to everyone that this is the case. That fat is not equally deposited across different groups. It's not equally deposited across men, across women, across age groups, across races. Because when you agglomerate people, very rarely will the statistics be absolutely identical across groups. In pretty much any category, height, weight, income. Okay, but because apparently too many Black and Hispanic people are charting in as fat, the AMA is now going to say that BMI itself is racist. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous on its face. How about this? How about we all eat healthier and we go work out instead of ripping on the metric that is being used as sort of a rough and ready way for doctors to tell you that you need to go work out and stop eating so much cake. We'll get to more on this in just 1 second. First, we got a dog. Our dog makes 4 children and a dog in our house. Lots of things going on in our house. You know, we can't afford to have a sick dog, which is why we want our dog to be healthy, and this is why we use Rough Greens. We give our dog Happy Rough Greens every day. The dog food you've been giving your dog is dead food. It doesn't have a lot of nutritional value. Brown food doesn't exactly scream nutritional, but green food does. Rough Greens boosts Happy's food back to life. It can do the same for your dog. You don't have to go out and buy new dog food. Just sprinkle Rough Greens on their food every day. It contains all the necessary vitamins and minerals your dog is not getting from their regular dog food. Happy loves the Rough Greens. He eats it right up, and he is healthy. He's doing great. Rough Greens is the only supplement your dog will ask for by name. Do you get it? It's a joke. Anyway, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, is so confident this product will improve your dog's health. He is offering my listeners a free Jumpstart trial bag. Go to freeroughgreens.com/Ben. Let Rough Greens bring your dog's food back to life. That's free, RUFFgreens.com/Ben today, or call 833-MyDog33. That's 833-MyDog33 to get started. Again, freeroughgreens.com/Ben today, or call 833-MyDog33. You know, the fact of the matter is, with 4 kids and a baby, I got to tell you, last night I was in charge of the baby for like the last half of the night. That meant I went heavy on the Black Rifle coffee this morning. Black Rifle coffee literally fuels the daily wear. Our office drinks about 40 pounds of their coffee every single week. If you haven't tried Black Rifle coffee yet, you need to. A great place to start is their Complete the Mission Fuel Sampler, giving you a taste of the entire spectrum of Black Rifle Coffee flavor profiles, offering 4-ounce bags of the following roasts: the Silencer Smooth, AK-47 Espresso, Beyond Black, and Just Black. The only hard part will be picking a favorite amongst these classic roasts. Black Rifle Coffee, it's a veteran-founded coffee company operated by principled men and women who honor those who protect, defend, and support our country. With every purchase you make, they give back. Stop running out of coffee. Sign up for a Coffee Club subscription to have Black Rifle Coffee delivered straight to your door on a schedule. Coffee Club subscribers receive their high-quality coffee at lower prices with free shipping. Plus, they get early access to exclusive deals and prices. Head on over to blackriflecoffee.com. Use promo code Shapiro at checkout for 10% off your order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Use promo code Shapiro for 10% off. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you. Black Rifle Coffee is America's coffee. The AMA Council on Science and Public Health, here is their statement, quote, "Our AMA recognizes the issues with using body mass index as a measurement because of A, the eugenics behind the history of BMI, of the use of BMI for racist exclusion, and C, BMI cutoffs are based on the imagined ideal Caucasian and does not consider a person's gender or ethnicity." So, I'm confused. So if you have a BMI of 30 and you're Black, does this make you not fat? Like, what exactly are we talking about right here? So one of the things they're pointing out is that there are racial differentials with regard to how BMI works among the different races, which, okay, that's fine, and doctors should know about that. But the idea that BMI as a tool is racist in and of itself is really, really silly. According to the Daily Mail, recent evidence suggests that people of Asian descent are just as prone to certain conditions like type 2 diabetes at a lower BMI of around 20, which is considered normal for other races. Similarly, diabetes is 2 to 4 times more prevalent and more deadly in Black, Hispanic, and Asian Americans, and one-size-fits-all screening based on non-Hispanic white bodies is highly likely to result in underdiagnosis of the disease. Now, again, I'm not against doctors using further tools, but the idea that BMI itself is racist is really, really silly. And in the vast majority of cases, what's happening here is not that the AMA is deeply concerned about underdiagnosis of diabetes. What they're really concerned about is, again, too many people from each group are being considered fat under the BMI stats, and that's a problem in the United States particularly. So another excuse for quote-unquote fat positivity is probably the best way to read all this. Again, if we're just talking about adding more information to the medical system, I'm totally fine with that. Better individual treatment of patients is totally a wonderful and fine thing. But it seems to me that much of what is driving the AMA these days is an attempt to getting good with the woke crowd, whether it's the AMA declaring that gender-affirming healthcare is actually the gold standard in the United States while Europe basically bans it, or whether you're talking about BMI suddenly becoming racist because there are too many people who are being categorized as overweight or obese from cultures that, or from races that are non-white. Pretty amazing stuff. Meanwhile, in other things that I hate today, Rashida Tlaib, who is a horrible person and one of the worst idiots in the American Congress, she is now out there urging eco-activists to be much more aggressive, which is just what we need. We need more people gluing themselves to objects. Here she was yesterday.
Again, we have to be much more aggressive in regards to fossil fuel expansions. It's already outpaced what the Trump administration was trying to do. You all know already, I know this is just, again, me speaking on behalf of my district. We are tired of being studied. We are tired of the task forces. We are tired of commissions. We're done. We're at this point where we're like, we get it. We know this is happening.
Oh, so they're done. They're tired. And that's what we need, is we need more crazy activism from the eco-activists, which is apparently what is happening with regard to these climate activists who are now going after Monet paintings. Man, these clowns. The situation is urgent, says one. The pandemic was nothing compared to the climate collapse. What's coming can't even be imagined. This is in Sweden. Children and the elderly will die first and will suffer nonstop, but no one will make it in time. Ban peat mining and restore the wetlands. Okay, so our health is under threat, she says while gluing herself to a Monet painting. How can you do nothing about it? And everybody's just standing around filming these cretins. Your security, what do you do for a living? Okay, here's what we need. We need full-on body tackles of people who do this sort of stuff. That's what we need. Arrest these people, throw them in prison for 5 years, and then this will stop. It's ridiculous, and it's insane. And the notion that if you glue yourself to a painting and shout about the wetlands, that this is somehow going to fix the climate is really, really, really stupid. But, stupidity is what rules in this day and age. Alrighty, folks, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into the mailbag. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.